All right, I'm back. Jensen Huang, the founder and CEO NVIDIA, wants all of us to suffer. And I thought this was like such a poignant lesson about the struggle that we all have as creatives trying to build a creative business, or us at Art Storefronts trying to build, a software platform business. And this thing has been like literally blowing up on the internet like crazy. So I want to bring it up, and I want to bring it up in the context like, for anyone that's a customer, you guys know this already, but for those that aren't, like every single solitary week, we have these internal sessions. Okay. And all of these internal sessions, constantly everyone's like, man, I'm trying so hard and my artwork's just not moving, or I've got a style and it's just not working. How am I going to know when I've reached enough people with my artwork? And everybody has been talking about this video this week because this guy, his company has grown to like the highest market capitalization that exists on the planet. I don't know all the exact numbers, but suffice to say, he's already one of the richest people in the entire world, if not by some margin. And NVIDIA is just like exploded out of control. It's the darling. So, excuse me, the context of this is that he's giving this speech to a bunch of Stanford graduate students. And this is a guy that is like literally embodies the American dream, born to immigrant parents, came up with no money. It talks about how he used to scrub toilets on a regular basis. And I think he has like a line like, I've scrubbed more toilets than any of you ever have in your entire life. And it's like, okay, how do you argue with that? But let's watch this video and then I want to talk about it in our context.
Very high expectations have very low resilience. And unfortunately, resilience matters in success. I don't know how to teach it to you except for I hope suffering happens to you. And I was fortunate that I grew up with my parents providing a condition for us to be successful on the one hand, but there were plenty of opportunities for setbacks and suffering. And to this day, I use the phrase pain and suffering inside our company with great glee. And the reason, and I mean that. Boy, this is going to cause a lot of pain and suffering. And I mean that in a happy way, because you want to refine the character of your company. You want greatness out of them. And greatness is not intelligence. Greatness comes from character, and character is informed out of smart people. It's formed out of people who suffered. And so and so if I could wish upon you, I don't know how to do it. For all of you Stanford students, I wish upon you ample doses of pain and suffering.
And so that's it. That's the clip, and literally everyone's talking about it. Like I said, on Twitter X or whatever we call it these days. I see this with like all of my customers, and I said on a live broadcast earlier today, and I sort of really firmly believe it is our number one job as a business at Art Storefronts is just to keep our customers from quitting. And really, that's a proxy for our number one job as a business at Art Storefronts is just to ensure that our customers make it through the pain and suffering. Every single solitary one of you goes through pain and suffering. Creating the work, okay? Trying to sell the work, trying to get the work in front of enough eyeballs, realizing you have to negotiate, realizing that you have to make sales, right? Realizing that it doesn't happen fast. Like we are all of us suffering, and it's so easy to go through your life and think there's like a shortcut, right? Like especially growing an art or photographer, there's some easy path, right? There's some easy way to do it. And then you see some of the greatest entrepreneurs of our entire generation wishing upon you pain and suffering. It sums it up, right? It's no different than going to the gym and like, or working out with a trainer and running stairs and, whatever it is that you do. And you're like, God, this is miserable. I am suffering. Or doing a cold plunge if you're one of the cool kids, or sitting in a sauna. I hate the saunas. I hate the heat like that. That suffering makes you a better human being, right? Makes you more fit, more adept, healthier, more newer to life's challenges, right? In like there is no bigger, you guys, than being a creative. And I'll include everyone on this. The authors, the musicians, the artists, like you got to suffer. You've got to suffer. And for him to
very
start
high
that whole thing out,
have very low resilience. People with very high
do not have high expectations. Do not have high expectations right out of the gate. Because if you have high expectations out of the gate, you're never going to make it. You shouldn't have any expectations other than to suffer. And it's true. Like I need to hear this as much as anyone else does.
People with very high expectations have very low resilience. And unfortunately, resilience matters in success. I don't know how to teach it to you except for I hope suffering happens to you.
He's so right. He's so right. And there's obviously, it's easy for me to say it. I've got a total of 37 cents in my bank account. It's not true, but don't have billions and billions and billions like that guy. That guy's sitting on a plateau of all plateaus. So what an amazing, amazing statement that is. But with that out of the way, that we all have to suffer, that it's not going to be an easy road, that the artists, that the photographers that stay dedicated to their marketing, that do not quit when it's like, oh my gosh, this isn't working. What am I doing? This should be a hobby. I should have listened to my mother. All of that type of stuff, that you can fight through that. That's how you win. That's how you win. And I said some sort of provocative earlier on, which is like, I sort of believe that the art is irrelevant at this juncture. And that's a crazy thing to say, but I totally do. I think the successful artists or photographers, the art by and large is irrelevant. Anyone can do it. Literally anyone can do it. And it's if you have the grit and the determination to stick through the promotion part, to stick through the marketing part, you'll get there, because your style will change. But independent of that, it's Friday, Open Line Friday, if you like. The whole reason for doing these is just to open up the Art Storefronts office and say, we've got some advice. We can help you out with various different things. I want to answer your questions. Any questions you have about marketing, about pricing, about branding. It doesn't matter if you're a customer or not a customer. I want to answer them. Going to answer them for the next clip of time. One thing I will say is that for anybody that wants to know what we do at Art Storefronts, I'm going to try something crazy here right now. Let's just see if this works. Wi-Fi. I'm going to mute myself. We have a demo running.
See my screen. It says agenda over here. You should be able to see that. Yes, lovely. So what I typically do here, guys, is I break it up into multiple.
He's got the best voice ever. But if you want to get in on that Zoom right now, to see kind of what we do, who we are, all of our plans, all of our pricing, all you have to do is leave a comment on Facebook or Instagram with the word Zoom, and I can send you a link and you can go right into that. We've got a Zoom running right now. So that's on that front. For everyone else that just wants to get involved in the Q&A, let's go. I'm happy to answer any and all questions that you have about what we do as a business at Art Storefronts, or what you're struggling with in terms of marketing. I'm trying to close this thing out now so we don't have to hear it. Okay, that's done. So questions, comments, concerns on a Friday, Open Line Friday, any marketing questions you have whatsoever, I'm more than happy to answer. I've been lecturing literally all week. It sounds such like a pedantic thing to say. I've been lecturing. Yeah, have you? But I've been talking all week about Instagram strategies and what we need to focus on Instagram and how important Instagram is, because, it's the giant visual art search engine, right? There's nothing quite like it. It's the number one place all creatives need to be marketing right now, by some margin. And I've been talking a ton about that this week. So I'm prepared to get into the Q&A on that in any capacity. I could show you guys some stuff that we learned this week. But more importantly than anything else, oh yeah, I forgot to put this on. If you have a question, ask it. Hold on. I got to call you back, Mom. I'm on a thing. Awesome. Yeah, so this is a great question. It's so hard to read the names on Instagram, you guys, because it's all jumbled together. DJ Lena is what I'm going to call you. DJ Lena 13. So very, very good question. What she's asking is, are reels, okay, more important? And I might as well put it up here. I can do this. Hold on. How would I do it? I want to start working a little bit harder so that the people that just tuned in, everyone can see the question that's up. So not necessarily. And everyone has to sort of evaluate this for themselves. Reels were more important than single post pics and carousels. I've seen the pendulum sort of swing back. One of the easiest ways to understand this, at least at like, if you have a business account level, is if you have business account, creator accounts do this too. If you have an individual account, you're not going to see this on yours, so you kind of just have to ignore it. But we do these three little bars here, the hamburger menu. We go to insights, okay? And on the insights report, we can go to accounts reached, right? And what accounts reached does is it gives us this view, okay, that shows us followers, non-followers, and all. And the blue portion of these bars is what percentage of my posts, my reels, my live videos, my stories, my videos excuse me, in this last week have been shown to people that do not, or that do follow us. That's the blue. The white is for people that do not follow us. And so in our account, the Art Storefronts account, followers, posts were seen by 18,000, reels were seen by 5,000, live videos were seen by 2,000. That's insane. The live videos is going crazy. Non-followers, okay, my posts were seen by 50,000 and my reels by 30,000. So on the Art Storefronts account, to answer you, DJ Lena, we are getting more action currently on our posts than we are reels. What do I mean when I say action? Instagram is showing our posts, which are a combination of videos, photos, and carousels, to more people that do not follow Art Storefronts than our reels by some margin, actually. So that's really, really interesting to see. And I don't think you can't necessarily benchmark yourself against what we do, because what we do is like professorial content. It's like one of the most boring things for most folks, aside from you erudite types. You know, it's one of the most boring things on Instagram. Like not most people want to be lectured to about how to sell art of photography. So your mileage may vary, but I think right now, reels and carousel posts are in equal measure important. More important than that is a couple of posts a day, try to do a reel a day, and do some stories. If you can do that, if you can get in that mojo, you're going to win. But I do think carousels are increasing in prominence. And we are literally in the golden age of social media right now on Instagram. There has never been a better time. Okay. There has never been a better time, honestly, to be marketing on Instagram. Full stop. And the reason is because they are showing posts. Okay. They are showing posts to people that do not follow you. And that has never, ever, ever been the case. Okay. I forgot to have a question, ask it. Have a question, ask it. I'll answer. It's amazing if you don't like prompt people to do this. People are just like, I don't know. Will this guy answer my questions? Yes. I can't guarantee that the answers will be amazing, but I will answer questions. Okay. Have a question? Ask away. All right. So I'm going to pin this comment on the front. It's going to be on Instagram, and I'm also going to show it at the top. So if you guys have questions, I'm answering them. That's how it goes on a Friday. And for those that want to investigate what we do at Art Storefronts, we have a live Zoom session going on right now. I just busted into it a second. You can leave a comment on Facebook. You can leave a comment on Instagram with the word Zoom. Boom. I'll send you a link and you'll be in there. So that's something that you can do if you are so inclined. So who's got the questions? Who wants to get into it? Oh, I'll see if we join me. I want to get in on another live. I sort of realized like these live broadcasts, you guys, are like such a new deal. Oh my gosh, I have another amazing thing to show you guys. Okay, another amazing thing to show you. Okay, people are asking how to do a carousel. I could show you briefly because it only takes. I only have my little demo phone here. But you know the carousels are super, super easy in social media, you guys, in Instagram marketing especially. Okay, in any marketing for that matter, the doggone pace at which advancements happen is so fast that literally no one can keep up with it. No one can keep up with the pace of it. So why do I say that? Why do I say that to Palmyra Studios? When you don't know how to do something, train yourself to go to YouTube. It is the fastest thing you could ever do. How do I create a carousel post on YouTube? You do that, boom. Videos will come up that were made like literally days ago that take into account all the latest, greatest features, bells and whistles, and you will be able to, you'll figure it out in 2 seconds. You'll be like, oh my gosh, I just learned how to do that. I just learned how to do that probably from someone that's 20 years younger than me or 30 years younger than me. It's usually the case for me. And they know how to do it way better than I do. It's amazing. It's amazing what you can learn on YouTube in like a very, very short period of time. So I always say that as like general advice, and like I'll make my customers like go and Google it, go YouTube it rather, every single solitary time, right? Like every single solitary time. So okay, I've got another question from Facebook. Sorry, I'm getting my kit all set up here. And great question, Jeremy. Quality over quantity for posting. You don't know what the difference is. You don't know what the difference is early on, because really what you're saying is like quality over quantity. What I think is quality is likely more important than quality, something that I put less time into. But in my experience, it's not necessarily about what I think is quality. Okay. It's not necessarily what I think is quality. the whole ball game early on when you're just getting going, especially Jeffrey, and picking up steam, is just consistency. And I like always use the archery analogy. And in the archery analogy, it's number of arrows fired. That's it. Number of arrows fired. Like how many different times are you testing different things to find out? And like one of the examples that I use, and this is like a little bit inside baseball, but I think this is important. You know, let me just pull this out. Most of you guys, okay, just share your work. You just share your work and you never share anything about you. And what you don't realize is that when you share things that are not just about your work and are about you, what ends up happening is that gets more engagement. That sends a signal to Instagram, and then Instagram goes and shows more of your art. And I know that's like really nuanced and like a little bit crazy, right? But you know, let me just show on the insights report, okay? And let me show you my feed too. Let me get this up here. Do you know what are posts that I think they're fun? Okay, they're fun. Don't get me wrong, they're fun. Everybody seems to like them, but I don't really care for them. Aside from this one, I think this one's really good. How do you guys interpret this quote? Just out of curiosity. It's a quick side tangent, and then I promise you, Jeffrey, I'm going to finish your question. Artists are born, not made. There's nothing you can do for them. This thing has been such a hot button, okay, post, 45 comments, okay? The reach on it has been staggering. It's been out of control. And I love the quote because there's so many different ways you can interpret it. And some people take it in a super negative fashion and take umbrage at it right out of the gates. My read of it, artists are born, not made. There's nothing you can do for them. Do you know what my takeaway from this quote is? It is quite succinctly, okay? It is quite succinctly that I call it internally the Hotel California problem, okay? You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Artists and photographers never, ever stop having the desire to sell their work, okay? You guys are born, not made. I agree with it. But why I'm bringing this up in your context, Jeffrey, okay, is I don't like these posts. They're fun, they're lighthearted, they're enjoyable. But guess what? They drive some of the highest level of engagement in posts that we get at Art Storefronts, number one. And number two, as a result of that, Instagram goes and shows our content. Facebook goes and shows our content to all sorts of people that do not follow us. Yeah, look, Chris Benny-Art, I shared it too, lol. See, like this is what I'm talking about. Nick, like I'm trying to explain to him, like trying to do this and get good at market. We don't have everything figured out. We are shipping all the time. As a result of the shipping all the time, we are learning all the time. And so, Jeffrey, my advice for you is don't worry about that out of the gates. Just make stuff, post stuff, and see how it goes and see where it lands. I want to tee you up on a question, Nick, before I do. Guys, we have a Zoom going on literally right now that you can jump into if you want to see what our service looks like, all of our pricing, all of our plans. Philip in there from Art Storefronts is running it. And by the way, Nick, you haven't even seen this. I can literally pop right into the Zoom session and show it on a screen share.
No way. Do it.
yeah.
I gotta see this.
Okay. Hold on.
So yeah, so this is him running a demo of Art Storefront live, right?
Oh man, now it says switch. Let me just see. All right, hold on.
All right. I think Philip's battery just died. He should be back shortly. I'm Andrea.
Oh my gosh, Philip's battery died.
Art Storefronts. I'm a photographer. So I jump on these calls sometimes to answer questions. So we can do that.
Great job, Andrea. Good luck covering.
Great job to Andrea.
Good luck covering. We're actually live on Instagram while you guys are live on Zoom. And I just told Nick, I was like, we're gonna pop into the Zoom right now and see what's going on in there. And that's right when you show up and Philip's battery has died. I love it. Well, we still have the Zoom going on. This is the incredibly talented Andrea Cross. She is a customer of ours, okay, in the Zoom. So if you want to go talk to her instead of the corporate mouthpieces, Nick and I, okay, with marginal art marketing advice, you can do so at any point in time by just leaving a comment on Instagram or Facebook with the word Zoom, and you can jump right in there. Other than that, Andrea, good luck. Good luck.
Thanks, Andrea.
All right. Oh, it's all on me now, is it? Okay.
Yep. Good luck.
Okay, I'll take it over.
I mean, dude, technology is getting insane. This
goes right back to what you were just talking about, right? Which is like our philosophy around, because like technology goes bad. You don't know what you're going to post that's going to work well or not. And we got into a mentality many years back, driven by you, which is this mentality of just ship it. And you guys, when our customers know, the Art Storefronts members know this phrase, just ship it, just ship it, just ship it. Because we say it all the time internally at our private customer office hours and all of that. And what it means is, don't think about it. Don't overthink about what you're going to post or what you're going to do or what you're going to test. Don't ask questions about it. Hey, do you think I should do this? Do you think I should do that? Like, do you think I should like offer this or try that? We say, ship it. If you had the idea, just ship it. If you have the idea for a post or an email or a tactic or a new piece or a strategy, just ship it, because nobody can tell you whether it's going to work or not. The number one advice to give to you is to just ship it, which means publish it, get it out, do it, because the market feedback is what you need. And in the amount of time that you wasted asking a question, waiting around, waiting to get an answer from somebody or some sort of an approval, you could have just shipped it. And in like a matter of a couple of hours, you would have got feedback. Oh, it didn't do anything. There's your answer. It didn't do anything. Or it got better engagement than anything you ever did. You got your answer. You don't need to ask anyone, just ship it. The market is the feedback you really want. We want you closer to the market. We want you as close to the market as possible, because the better information and feedback you're getting from the market, in other words, your current audience, that you've got right now, the more accurately you're going to be able to make decisions of which direction to go in the business.
I've got one for you because it's on the tech side. So Aaron, who's not a customer, was asking, do we have the ability to show videos of our work on the product pages? And then out of the comment photography, who is a customer, was like, wait, we could show videos now?
Yes, you can.
You've been able to do it all the time.
You have been all the time. Yeah. For years.
Yeah. It's a simple YouTube. Do we just support YouTube currently, I think? Or is it any video now?
I think you can embed pretty much anything, but our support team will help with any of it. So if any of you existing customers right now want to go and do that, there's actually, I know there's an article on it in our support center, but of course our team will help you too.
Yeah, it's really, really easy. Will you pull up Meg's website? But no, before you do that, I want to scramble your brain. Okay. I want to scramble your brain with this right now, because you guys, I started the live broadcast with this. I don't think Nick has seen this because he's been on his kid's spring break. Where do you see this? Okay. By the way, the internet has gone berserk on this. Okay. It's Jensen Huang talking to Stanford. All right. Have you seen this?
No.
Okay.
I was fortunate that I grew up. People with very high expectations have very low resilience. And unfortunately, resilience matters in success. I don't know how to teach it to you, except for I hope suffering happens to you. And I was fortunate that I grew up with my parents providing a condition for us to be successful on the one hand, but there were plenty of opportunities for setbacks and suffering. And to this day, I use the phrase pain and suffering inside our company with great glee. And the reason, and I mean that. Boy, this is going to cause a lot of pain and suffering. And I mean that in a happy way, because you want to train, you want to refine the character of your company. You want greatness out of them. And greatness is not intelligence. Greatness comes from character, and character is informed out of smart people. It's formed out of people who suffered. And so that's it. And so if I could wish upon you, I don't know how to do it. For all of you Stanford students, I wish upon you ample doses of pain and suffering.
I mean, it's
so
guys,
true.
Again, he's like one of the most successful entrepreneurs at this current time period, but of all time, right? Like the market capitalization of NVIDIA is out of control. To talk to students like that with that type of flex, I wish pain and suffering on you. And by the way, like I saw another video clip, the guy started cleaning toilets. He goes, I've cleaned more toilets than anyone in this room combined. Like, just wow.
I saw that too. Wow. Amazing.
Guys, I played that for Nick as much as I played that for me, as much as I play that for all of you, because we all need to listen to that message. Okay. When Jeffrey here is like, I'm exhausted chasing the algo on my business, Jeffrey, I'm happy for you because you're suffering. That is literally what I'm going to, that's like literally what I'm going to, we are suffering, right? You know, we're
all learning.
Yeah. these eyes are burning my eyes. These lights are burning my eyes out so I can like do all this. It doesn't matter. The suffering's part of it. This is how we learn. This is how we get good at things. Like art.
It's like the same. It's the same concept as like, you know, muscles are not built overnight. Going to the gym, exercising, the suffering. You know, it's a different type of suffering. It's not the mental suffering, right? But it's all the same.
It's all the same.
It's like your mental muscles need to grow. You know, that's why it's important for younger kids in college, or but for all of us to continually exercise those mental muscles. And because at the end of the day, like that's what you're not gonna get those muscles. You're not gonna get in shape without putting in the work and actually suffering, right? And it's the same thing. You will not find artists that are successful that have not gone through the suffering to get there.
Not
it's like a rite of passage. It's a rite of passage, and it's in any business, guys. Because I don't want anybody to sit here and go, "What? You know, of course, it's because I'm an artist and I chose the hardest industry." No, it's not that. It's every business. Every business, doesn't matter what it is. If you are starting a business and you are launching a product and you are trying to make sales, you are going to go through just as hard as an experience as all of you guys are. And it's normal. It's normal. Yeah. You know, the suffering is normal and it's part of it. Let's talk about it. Let's be open about it. Let's share about it, because it makes you feel better. It makes me feel better. It makes me feel better just knowing all of you guys are in on it too. And it's like, it's not only me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. You know, Veronica asked a great question here, which is like, what is the best tip for getting out of your own way? Getting out of your own way. Stop overthinking it. You know, like one of the metrics that I've like hung my hat on for quite some time is everyone's like, well, what should I do on Instagram, Patrick? Should I do this? Should I do that? You guys are the experts. You know this. Like, what do I do? Just focus on the number of pieces of content you create for the platform each week. That's all I care about. I don't care about views. I don't care about likes. I don't care about comments. I don't care about shares. I don't care about any of that, because we're all learning to storytell on a new device. We're all learning to communicate on the one thing that everyone has in their hand 24 hours a day that's glued to them, right? And it's such a powerful time, right? Nick, this moment in time right now is the best on Instagram since you and I have started our careers in social media.
Absolutely.
It is the best it's ever been.
Absolutely.
The fact that they are showing posts now to people that don't follow you is insane. It's insane. Nick and I are taking questions. For those that are just joining, if you want to jump into a Zoom right now, by the way, that is like a tour of our product, all the plans, all the pricing, all the everything. You can ask questions live. You can do that. You can just leave a comment, Zoom on Instagram or Zoom on Facebook. But I want to, some of you guys have seen this because I know I see some repeat faces in there. What's up? What's up, Lester? What's up, Inner Child Thoda Works? Everything that we have designed this business to do at Art Storefronts, and this is so counterintuitive, starting with Nick's original web designs, going all the way back to 9 years ago now to where we are now, all of it has been about mirroring what takes place in the real world and treating the digital world as our job is getting as close to the real world as possible. No one does this. No one even talks about this. And so how I bring this up in context is, Nick, where is the ideal place to purchase or view art in the real world?
In person.
In person, face to face, at an art gallery or at a museum.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean that your whole goal should be to sell in an art gallery. We're just making the point that selling any product in person, where you can see the person can see it, touch it, and all of that, is obviously going to be the best way.
Oh, it goes way deeper than that. So everything, all of our websites look like the same experience that is involved in an art gallery or museum. What's involved in an art gallery or museum? They're all the same, all the world over, and no matter what language you're speaking. White walls,
yeah,
light on the art. And our websites look like that because the ideal thing to do in a digital context is to mirror what is happening in the digital context. And so I saw a video today this week, and you haven't seen this, which I believe to be one of the most amazing power flexes in the art world I've seen in quite some time. Okay. I enjoyed this so thoroughly. This is such a power flex. It's mind boggling. So this is Mark Maggiore. Okay. He's one of the best selling artists in the entire United States right now. And he puts this on his Instagram. And this is such a power flex. I cannot even begin to tell you. Wait till you watch this. Sold, red dot. Sold, red dot. Sold, red dot. Sold, red dot. Red dot sold. Yeah, that one's sold too. Oh, yeah, that one's sold. What about this one? Sold. What about that? Oh, sold. Shooters. Great. Shooters. Done. Sold. 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 And sold. Right? Is that not one of the biggest power flexes you've ever seen? He's like, this work is sold, this work is sold, this work is sold. But why I love that, one, always flex like that when you can, certainly if you can, right? Two, one of the features that we have on our website, and I should have it pulled up, and I'm gonna let me do it because I can get it up faster than you can. One of the features that we have on our website, right? And you know, you guys just heard me go through this entire rant about how everything that we do in the digital space should mimic what's going on in the real world. Okay, what goes on in the real world, all right, when you purchase a piece of art, is they stick that red sticker on there, right? They stick that red sticker on there, and that signals to all of us, guess what happened here, Nick? This piece of work sold. Guess what I am? I'm an artist that's on the up and up. I am an artist that is currently selling things. I'm doing a phenomenal job at it. And I want to pull up Betty's website because Betty is like, she's really, really good at this. I'll have it in just a second. But the whole idea is like everything that we're doing, okay? Everything that we're doing at Art Storefronts is just attempting to, in the digital world, display things that everybody has been doing forever and ever and ever in the real world. So watch this. So on Betty's site, and let me just share this quickly because I think it's awesome. And I got to present, I got to do stop screen, share screen. Okay, just bear with me. I get into these little rants and these little tangents sometimes, but so this is, Nick, an additional page that Betty has on her site on Art Storefronts. Okay. She doesn't take it down. You want to know why? Because Betty is really, really smart. Do you know what this is? This is Betty's version of Mark Maggiore walking through his gallery going, boom, sold, boom, sold, right?
Yep.
You can come to Betty's page. And what color, Nick, are these stickers?
Red.
Oh, they're red. They're red. Oh,
they look exactly the same.
No one else is seeing
the exact same thing that you're used to seeing in a gallery.
Yeah. So you guys, this is the perfect example. Okay?
Sold.
Yeah. This is why I get so infuriated though, because like when you guys make your websites, there's colors and fonts and goofy things, and it's supposed to look like an art gallery. There's supposed to be nothing going on, and there's literally no difference between those red stickers, okay, and this guy tap dancing around doing his shooters, red dot, red dot, red dot. It is signaling the exact same thing, okay? That, by the way, you better act quickly, okay? Because these things, when they're gone, you know? It's that simple, and it's subtle, but it's very, very important. But anyway, that was my rant. I wanted to show that. How good is that guy's video flexing though?
So good.
So good. Yeah.
You know, I think another thing to say too is that we have other website themes that customers can choose. And so when people say like a lot of your website themes look the same, it's because people wise up. They, you know, and they follow what the top sellers are doing on our platform, and they realize like, wait a minute, I tried to have this complicated homepage with like big slideshows and screens and scroll down. And what you do is you see people trying to copy these websites that they've seen that are not artist websites, that have nothing like a gallery. They throw all this stuff on their homepage instead of having their art, you know, their gallery be the homepage. And it's the equivalent of owning an art gallery in person. Think about how crazy this is, Pat. All of us, everybody who's listening, how crazy this would be. Your customer walks into an art gallery and you're like, oh, no, hold on. You can't see the art yet, okay? You need to look at all of these graphics that I created and category and this and that. And you need to wait and watch my slideshow. I'm not gonna show you any of my art yet. Oh, and by the way, yeah, if you wanna see my art, I'm gonna make it really hard for you to go and get, you're gonna have to go find it somewhere in the navigation or whatever it is. It's insane. You would never do that, right? The thing you want them to do the second they come to your homepage is like they walked right into your gallery. That's all they care about. They don't care about your tagline or anything else that you're trying to say, okay? You have seconds. If you don't believe me, go look at your analytics data and it will show you how quickly people bounce, okay? We did a whole case study on this years back, and really good artists had a slideshow on their homepage and the sophisticated homepage. It looked beautiful. Yeah. We're like, you need to remove it. They're like, what? What do you mean? Like this site
is so much time on that.
And it's like, trust us, you need to remove it. Let's do it and look at the data. They took our advice. Their art, it just started with their art, their categories of art, you know, in like columns of 3, going all the way down, infinite scrolling. Their results went up like 80%. I think it was unbelievable. And they had no idea what they were doing. And everybody just sits there and they're like, oh, my website's not good unless I have this crazy homepage and this theme and da-da-da-da. You have no idea what you're talking about. If that's the way that's an idea in your head that is not supported by any results that any great artist is getting. And that's the thing that people eventually get to, it's like, okay, I'm not getting the results I want. Maybe I am getting in my own way. Where did I even get these ideas?
Yeah. In it's such a trap, right? Because like, as creatives, whether you're a photographer, like, I understand framing composition. I know the rule of thirds. I know exactly what I'm doing here. Artists, same thing. I understand framing and composition. I'm a trained artist. I'm going to go apply those laws of framing and composition to my website. No, you're not, because your website is not a work of art. Your website is an art gallery. And the closer it looks like to an art gallery, the more people understand I'm here to buy art. I'm not here to look at nice things and then get distracted and go watch cat videos. Right?
Minimalism, you guys. Your art is the design. That's the whole point. Your art is the design of the art gallery, of the website. Your job is to get out of the way and get eyeballs on the art piece. That's what the gallery wants. The second you walk in the door, they want your eyeballs. They don't want it on a big logo. They don't have their logo inside so that you're looking at the sign. Get your logo smaller, artists. Do not have a huge logo. Gosh, that's the other thing I see is like huge center logo, in the second you get on the homepage. That's not what you want. It right on the first piece of art.
Yep. In like, again, where were these damn classes in college?
Exactly.
Veronica's like, wow, what an aha moment. But the minute you get the aha moment, Veronica, you're like, oh my God, they're so right. Because everything we attempt to do digitally is just trying to get as close as possible to what the paradigm is in the real world.
That's right.
Anytime, like, and I'm not trying to be overly critical, like, sign up for art storefronts, don't sign up for art storefronts. I want you guys to win. And when you guys are left to your own devices and you go to these other companies and you get all of these flashy things and flashy colors and fonts and layouts, and it looks beautiful, but it doesn't look anything like an art gallery.
That's right.
You've got to look exactly like an art gallery.
And this goes back to the point that we were making earlier, is like the whole reason we do this at Art Storefronts, guys, is to take this stuff off your plate. We're experts in this stuff. We're studying the data. We have more data than anyone. We have 14,000 artists and photographers on our platform. We know what works. It's not a guess. This isn't a theory. Like, this is way, way beyond like a guess or a theory. So if you're operating off of a guess or a theory and we're operating off the data, which one do you think is going to win? So that's one of the whole points, like when joining Art Storefronts for your website, whether it's your website with your marketing or all that stuff, it's taking these things off your plate that you're not an expert in. You're never going to be. You're never going to be watching these trends every single year. You know it and we know it, but you need to be good at it. And so we don't even want you thinking about it. We're just like, we're setting up your website for you. That's why we have a free website setup offer today. That's part of the offer that's ending today, by the way. That for those of you guys who don't know, we have a discounted price to join Art Storefronts, and a free website setup is included in that, and some other details, which you can get if you request a demo or go to that live Zoom session. But that is the whole point. We want and we should say, Pat, you rewind back 8 to 10 years. Do you remember what happened? Like, we let every artist set up their own website.
Terrible idea.
The websites, and then people would come back to us and they're like, "Why aren't I selling more? Why aren't I selling more?" And we go, "Okay, yeah, let's go look into everything." And we were like, "What on earth is this? You got a yellow background and you got all these fonts. Your logo's huge.
Fox,
like, oh my God!"
Keep it going. 30 seconds. Can you see the Instagram comments? There's some good ones.
Okay, I'll go through the comments. But yeah, that's where we came to this, you guys, was like reverse engineering off of that, and seeing artists that were not doing well and going, oh my gosh, they don't even know how to set up their websites the right way. We got to come up with a best practices way, get this on a PDF, give it to all of our customers, which we did back then. And now we've gotten to the point where we will just set up the website for you, because we're just like, we don't even want you touching it, really. I mean, if you're really particular about it, you can do whatever you want with it. You have the power to do it. You can set it up yourself. But if you want us to do it and do it the right way, you don't even have to think about it. We just do it. And you're off doing other things that are way more important. Because if something like this, again, can be delegated, you should not be doing anything that can be possibly delegated. Nothing. It is not adding you any extra value. No extra percentages of performance are going to come from it. You know it and I know it just because you're not doing it in a scientific way. You're just running your own test. You're not doing an A/B test. You're not doing it in a proper, so you don't know if what you're doing is actually doing better or doing worse. And it could actually be killing all of your results. If you're not familiar with the multiply by zero rule, this is a real thing. If you guys Google it, but the multiply by zero rule or principle is there are things that you can do that will literally multiply your results by zero. By zero. That's a crazy thought, So if you multiply any number by zero, let's go back to math class. You guys know what the answer is? It's zero. And so you don't want to be messing with anything that's in that multiply by zero rule because you could be, okay? All right, I'm looking down at the comments. Let's see here. If we simplify the website, how would we categorize story highlights? I don't know what story highlights you're referring to. Like at story highlights, I'm thinking about Instagram. But if we're on the website itself, there shouldn't be story highlights on the website itself. You're really focused on.
Yeah, they're talking about Instagram.
Yeah, so that's got to be Instagram. Should I limit the amount of art on my website? I don't think so. I mean, if you have
within reason, I saw that within reason. Right?
Within reason, yeah. Within reason. I mean, the way that I would say it is that if you have a ton of art, like thousands of pieces, photographers tend to have tons sometimes, then don't let a ton of art stop you from launching or rebuilding a better site or anything like that. Because you can just get the content that matters on the site to launch it. Because the other stuff is just, you can do that over time. You can long tail it. You can put it into its own categories and all of that. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But it does matter if it is getting in your way and stopping you from launching. Okay. That's the key. Don't let anything stop you from launching because you need to get out in the market. You need to allow people to come to your gallery. You need to be marketing that art. And anything that's stopping you from doing that is literally stopping any results from happening. Okay. So don't let like the 80% of your work that's not selling stop the 20% of your work that is selling or that will sell. Get live, get your stuff up. Don't let that get in the way.
Great question. Azalea Art Shop which is how do you show sold on prints, right? You have to have limited editions and you have to put them in there with sold on it. And you have to prime the pump, you guys. You have to grease the skids. If you worked at a coffee shop and there was a tip jar, or you worked at a bar and there was a tip jar, no one's going to be angry if you put a couple of bucks in that tip jar of your own. Let people know that tipping is not what is it? What is like the constant line? Tipping is not the name of a country or name of a city in France or whatever. You got to grease the skids sometimes. So you can get some stuff that's sold before and put it in there. Like that's all good. And by the way, Trails Edge, do you have any idea how happy this comment makes me? Okay. I want everyone here to read this comment. Let me just put it up. Okay. Because this is like, this is like almost, and I don't want to be flippant, but this is almost like, what they say at Alcoholics Anonymous, like, my name's Ted and I'm an alcoholic. This is the opposite of that. I need to delegate house cleaning and cooking, please. The delegation is honestly like one of the biggest things that our customers struggle with, that we struggle with, right? Like it is one of the biggest, and I know you said this flippantly, but still it's making my point. Everyone struggles. Okay, let me give you an example. We have a service that does social media posting, okay, for our artists. Do you know what they do? Instead of taking the time they get back to go and work on additional posts in additional work, okay, they overanalyze and critique and freak out about the posts that are going out. And the reason is because you guys as artists and photographers have almost never delegated anything in your entire lives. You've worked on all of the various different things. You are the creator. You are the printmaker. You are the shipping and receiving department. You're the accountant, Nick. They're the lawyer. They're the salesperson. There's the marketer.
I get it.
You wear all of those hats. And it's like so hard to delegate. It is honestly like such an additionally. So you are a customer and you does do additional, like getting over that hump to delegate is like really, really hard. Yeah. Need is like control, like, especially with artists, like it is like an endemic part of like the creative mind. But once you do, you're like, oh my God, My
Perfect
business,
is the enemy of good. Have you heard that
my
phrase?
business is growing.
Perfect is the enemy of good.
Yeah.
You know, like you can get something to good in 20 minutes, but to get it perfect could take like a month, you know, and you're way better off just shipping what's good rather than what's perfect, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Which is an amazing, amazing thing. So someone was asking, so I have a Shopify online store. Do you think that's adequate? We love Shopify. Shopify has a great product. The issue is not Shopify or us or Squarespace or Weebly or Wix or WordPress or whoever. Artists don't have website problems. They just don't. Okay. You get a website here, you get a website there, you get a website anywhere. What happens everywhere else aside from us? Good work. We're excited to have you on board. Let us know how it goes. With us, it's okay. You know, to quote Jensen, get in here. Time to start learning. Time to start suffering. But it's the minute the website goes live is what are you going to do then? What are you going to do then? How are you going to learn how to market? How are you going to learn how to social media market? How are you going to contemplate pricing? You know, how are you going to stay up to date with the latest and greatest social media trends? And you can do it on your own. You could spend a bunch of time Googling, YouTube, watching Twitter, reading blog posts, signing up for masterminds and everything else. But we put all of that in one roof.
Yeah.
In-house.
And we do it with the website as well,
awesome.
right? Like we have hundreds of features that are specific for artists on the front end, you know, like the augmented reality, 360 degree, like viewer, all the different stuff that we've got it on the back end in managing the business, right? So these are big things though, you know, Pat, that we shouldn't even gloss over, right? Because it's like every artist that has set up a website has gone through the process of creating their products, right? And dealing with how am I going to do the print fulfillment and manage all of that. We make all of that as easy as you could possibly imagine. Turning on a media type like Canvas or Metal, you don't have to do it for every single item. It's just ready to go. And you have like very granular control on all this stuff and how it's displayed on your site. So it's a much better art selling experience, and it's all in one, and it's integrated with the marketing and all of that. But the point that Patrick is making is that, you know, it's an important point, is that a lot of artists think that all you have to do is launch a website and fish are going to jump into your boat and the business is done. The website is nothing. It's the final stage. You know what I mean? It's the final stage. You got to do all the marketing to get eyeballs on your art, you know, eyeballs on your art, move people, get people interested, get them down your sales funnel, right? And then when they get to your website, eventually they're going to come again. They're going to come again. They might come 10 times before they even think about buying anything. And eventually with a good enough marketing, right? They end up liking you and your work enough that they might actually buy something, right? And so you have to understand how this works. Marketing is what builds a business, not just the website at the end of the day. The website is just a tool. And yes, we have a better tool than any generic website platform, but we want to make sure anybody that comes onto Art Storefronts isn't just thinking that, like, oh, I had a website over here and it didn't work. You know, all I need is another website and that's going to work. It's like, no, that's not your problem. That's not your problem, you know?
Yeah. I state it a different way. And this comes directly from 10 years, almost 10 years in the trenches of learning this. Early on, let me put it this way. We would all like to think that becoming a successful artist or photographer is 100% of meritocracy based on the quality of the work. I would have thought that when I started. I did think that when it started. It's not the case. I've come to learn it's not the case. Early on, it's a meritocracy on the quality of the marketing. Because the best art that's created is not necessarily what sells. It's the best art that's created that gets seen that sells. Now, don't get me wrong. It does become a meritocracy in the quality of the work once you can get past this eyeball threshold, but that's where everyone's stuck. Everyone is stuck in the meritocracy of getting the art seen. That's where everyone is. Almost everyone on this call, that's where you are, right? And so, okay, I didn't know those were the rules. I've been educated, School of Hard Knocks, okay, trademark. Now I know. Now I realize, like, our job is to give everyone the competency to get the work seen enough such that they can reach that level. That's our job. It's another one of our jobs, right? And that's not wildly said or wildly known, is it? A lot of people are sitting around and they're like, look, you know, my work is incredible. I'm going to be discovered, They're going to see my work. I don't have to do anything. I just have to master my craft and be so good at it, and the score will take care of itself, right? But sadly, it is not. It is not early on meritocracy in the work. It is a meritocracy on the marketing, and that's the world that we lived in. And I think the sooner that you come to terms with it, the better. And you know which video I'm going to go get right now. Okay, you guys ready? This is what an incredibly talented actress says. Okay, and I love the way that she says it, and I find this to be encouraging.
I got a call from somebody, and this is a piece of advice that really helped me, so I hope it helps you. Do not wait around for the phone to ring for someone to make your dreams happen. You have to do something literally every single day to push your dreams forward. No one is thinking about what you want to do or how you want to do it or what the mark in the world that you want to make is. That's up to you. So you have to actually do something to make it happen. And you can do it. And you're going to do it today.
Yeah. For me, that the whole point of that video is like, she's saying in her world, it's not a meritocracy on how good of an actress I am. It's a meritocracy on how aggressive I'm working at getting more auditions and reading for more roles and more parts. Like that's what it is, and that's it's just a profundity. And I see it more and more. And I realize, like, I'm the marketing guy. Okay. All I want to do all day long is just teach you guys how to market. So this is great. This is my domain. Right. But I realize, like, we played the Jensen Huang video, and then you got the Reese Witherspoon video, because every artist, you guys, that's ever been successful has actually had to surmount this. Like, where was that class? Okay, in college, Nick. I don't think they taught it. So anyway, I'm getting fired up about this. But we're pushing up against the Instagram hour mark, so we're going to be out of time. Any final questions you guys have, please drop them. We would love to answer them. Do you have any finals, Nick?
No, just a reminder for anyone looking to join Art Storefronts. We have a big sale ending today. And so if you're interested in that, then request a demo. It's right on our website in the upper right-hand corner. Just hit that request a demo orange button, and somebody will get back to you and can give you all the information.
Do you know if that Guten thing is live? Can I screen share that?
No. That was a question. That was a question for you, like for the team. No.
Okay. Yeah, we need to figure that out. Out of the common photography, yep, saw it, noted. I screenshot that already and I put it in a thing. So you want to have a flat rate for mugs, hoodies, and t-shirts.
Dennis is asking about Art Marketing Hub demos. Dennis, are you a current customer? We could have somebody reach out to you on our team and give you a demo of that. I'm assuming because we haven't really promoted that too much to anyone that's not a customer. But let us know in the comments real quick, and we'll have somebody reach out.
Yep. Other than that, guys, thanks for another session on a Friday, open line Friday, as it were. Any and all questions, we're taking them. Nick, thanks for giving us the time, and I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Enjoy yourself, enjoy some downtime, but also stay focused on that marketing. You guys stay focused on that marketing. Bye now.